mentioned, very solid front line for BTR, but GEEK fam, no waiting here. They pick up another hero that can dive into that back line. A good counter towards the Beatrix. And with this pick/dive heavy composition, GEEK fam has a lot of kill pressure.
And they're going to be very aggressive in that early game here,
Well,
Johnny.
I feel like Bigatron can also have the early game. Remember, they have that Lancelot, which somehow can go aggressive, can somehow secure a lot of kills as well.
But remember, the Lilia is going to be able to clear way faster than the Lunox in the early game.
That's true, that's true. So perhaps they are trying to go all in the early game here, Mirko. Let's see.
Let's see, ladies and gentlemen, both of the drafts have been set, like you mentioned. It's going to be a very interesting dynamic. In the mid lane, mid control is going to be heavily prioritized, but in the gold lane, that's where the magic will happen. Ladies and gentlemen, here in the MPL arena, everybody is ready. Are you guys ready to witness this match? The battle for playoffs begin. Bigatron Alpha and GEEK fam enter the land of Dawn here in Game 1.
The risk, the standings ever so high here, as it is going to be both of them really eyeing for that 6th position, that playoff position. And we can see that Chidera is actually opting to go and help Jana Cutie with the buff first. So perhaps a preemptive movement, realizing that perhaps Bigatron Alpha want to go and die for it. But here we see already the kill pressure coming in from Beloyski that we notoriously are known.
Well, it seems like GEEK fam here, their game plan, of course, to babysit 1-1, but against the Diggy, Franco perhaps needs to do extra work, because when he does get that suppression on towards Marky, there is always that time journey that can eliminate that crowd control. And of course, in the early game here, it seems like the game plan for both of the teams, it seems like they're going to go slow tempo here. Meanwhile, topside Luke, Masha has also a lot of tasks in somehow targeting Beatrix in the mid towards the late.
And you could tell, right? Chidera knows how to really bully on the 1-1. He popped in at that Inspire as well, taking a whole lot of HP from Marky, noticing that he doesn't have the flicker. So again, these little mechanical victories in lane has been the main source of success for Chidera.
And that's going to have to count. And it's really important to see, especially when it comes down to their power spikes. But the talents prediction here by Axe is quite split here. But on the Indonesian Despo, what?
There's going to be a hook by Beloyski, bringing Marky back. That one was definitely personal. Targeting Marky again. 2 hooks in the game so far, and both of them connecting onto Marky.
Yeah, as I was saying, the prediction is very split here. We do see that I'm alone with GEEK fam. And because I see the kill pressure potential that we saw just now being able to get ace wins, but Jana Cutie is going to be able to actually take away the turtle from Bigatron.
Not only that, Luke as well on the sprint, able to find a thunderclap onto Max, taking him down. And Jana Cutie, what a steal from the man on the Ling. He didn't even have any damage to chain the retribution with Goni.
A great timing as well. And if we're taking a look at the emblems here, it seems like, of course, Esmeralda will opt for a regeneration and as well as movement speed. Nothing too fancy from both teams here, all standard item-wise. Penetration for Lunox and as well as Lancelot. But now, bot side perhaps, another setup that were somehow established by GEEK fam earlier. That was a perfect setup because the timing was just so on point. They get the kill on towards Marky, and then they rotated fast on time, in time, to get the steal on towards the turtle.
Remember here that Moreno has not opted for the mystery shop, so he's gonna need a little bit more time compared to Elzura with that emblem. But here we go, Max. Man, he's so aggressive, putting so much pressure onto GEEK fam.
Even Chorizo, up in that orange buff, actually going to be able to chunk Jana quite low. But Jana has just completed one of his items, the Wind Talker, that'll help him greatly in the mid-game. Marky, though, with the help of this Diggy, it's just going to be so easy to actually get that map pressure. But again, Beloy, he's trying to get that hook on towards Beatrix. Here, though, on the top side, some of the players going to be popped in by Jana. Fast hands, Max going to fall onto the hands of Jana. This is why it's a signature pick. Very fast and very lethal.
And And with the pickoffs on the board, GEEK Fam has actually started to lead with a 1,300 gold lead. So far, Bigatron Alpha not able to get any pickoffs on the board, but you can see that they are rotating in a way to prioritize the objectives. But if Max's Retribution fails like it did before, it's going to be a tough time for Bigatron, especially when we get into that mid side.
It seems like the early game plan for side of GEEK Fam has worked. They got the early control. Kill-wise, gold-wise as well, rotation, they are now leading. The question is, can they maintain the lead? Because the second turtle, it seems like there's going to be no contest as Max, he is late in the rotation.
Yeah, so Rizzo trying to go for a cheeky steal there just with the falling Star Moon. Has to pop the sprint. That's definitely not a good resource burnt in. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there because Max was definitely not going for the steal. Wasn't really going for the contest. But he does have the Hunter Strike now.
Seems like now, position as it stands here, GEEK Fam, they need to, yeah, like I said, maintain, and Bigatron, they need to wait for the mid-game power spike. Lunox, Beatrix can be deadly in the mid-game. And of course, Esmeralda, perhaps after Oracle, he can begin to somehow find and become the frontliner. As it stands, item-wise here, BOD secured and all mid-side.
Mid lane, Janna looking for the damage again. Thorn Rose by Max, taking a whole lot of HP from Janna QT, chunking him low. But again, no real kill pressure just yet. Aloyski popped that conceal and was brought back by the reverse time.
We're going to see how this is going to pan out, right? Because when it goes into the later stages of the game, it's going to be very difficult for GEEK Fam because of the fact that Bigatron Alpha has that Diggy. They need to be able to prioritize that kill pressure! But no, Veloisky gets taken down, and he's the main person to be able to make that happen.
Sorizo up top though. GEEK Fam are looking for a trade. Falling Star Moon locking him in place. Sorizo trying to dodge away, gets the shielding back up. Going onto Elzura, who doesn't have the black shoes, and Sorizo is able to survive. But Janna QT though, he doesn't take any prisoners. He goes in under the turret. Moreno is able to take the kill, and Big Atron Alpha lead again. Max in the mid lane, gonna be able to secure the mid lane tier 1. Top side pushing in as well. BTR equalize in gold, even though they're down 2 kills.
Yeah, misplays from GEEK Fam, or even perhaps you can consider that an outplay as well. I do understand that Janna Cutie needed the kills, because that's how their composition was built, right? But someone like Moreno, with the micro ability that he has, is going to be able to counter that really well, especially with the ultimate. And that's the beauty of the Lunox. She's able to get away in those positions, but also deal out the damage. And so far, she hasn't reached her power spike either. She's only secured that Clock of Destiny. The Lightning Truncheon has yet to follow. And even then, she's already having that much of an impact.
You can see the Lunox pressure on the neutral objective. This time, it's GEEK Fam who are not going to be able to contest the turtle. Bigatron Alpha securing the 3rd turtle of the game, but GEEK Fam have secured 2 out of the 3.
I mean, momentum here. Again, GEEK Fam lost their momentum. Uh-oh.
Never mind. He just goes in for the flicker. Moreno going to be caught instantly, just shut down by the thunderclap from Luke. Bigatron Alpha are able to actually go down below. Falling Sarmon by Sorizo there, as he is able to find a kill onto Franco. Shadira has the crossbow. Tang will choose to pop it over to Marky, but the time journey helps him out. That's going to be the Phantom Execution to the back line. Shadira still able to kite away, surviving for a bit longer, buying the time for Max to fall onto the hands of Janna QT with the tip of the blade. But look at the snipes from Marky all the way behind. Sorizo is still alive. He's trying to run away, but the thunderclap from Luke finally comes in to secure the kill. It's a 2-for-2 trade in the end. 3-for-2? I think Moreno, yeah, Moreno fell. So it was 3-for-2 in the end. GEEK Fam in favor.
But Bigatron Alpha still with a 1,000 gold lead, and you can see how much promise that Sorizo has on this Esmeralda. The damage dealt by Axe also says that he has been dealing the most amount of damage as well.
Yeah, this is interesting, seeing that the roamer and the XP laner is actually the highest damage dealer here as it stands. And of course, Janna QT followed right after, and Bigatron, they have secured all the outer turrets from the side of GEEK Fam, which means the space from the side of GEEK Fam, it's quite limited here, which actually 1-1 needs, right? He needs space. And of course, Bigatron Alpha eliminates that fact. And perhaps a setup here bot side, but nothing much just yet. And again, players gold by UBS. So Rizzo, the XP laner, is number 1.
Yeah, that's interesting. And that top 2 was from the side of GEEK Fam, whereas Bigatron Alpha, they're not falling behind as much. But we can see that this is going to be hard, right? Because we're already reaching the 9th minute. They are going to all go grouping up to this neutral objective. And team fight-wise, I feel like Bigatron Alpha has a better edge.
They kind of do, right? Again, in terms of AoE damage, in terms of just reliable abilities, with a time journey, it really negates a whole lot of CC and kill pressure from GEEK Fam.
I mean, it seems like Luke here on the Masha, he holds his lane well. But now with the Lord standing, I feel like Bigatron has a chance to somehow steal it away here. Take a look at the health. Take a look at the health from side of GEEK Fam. They're all poked.
Yeah, Jana is taken low, Elzura as well, but Alarm Box, Marky goes in for the flicker, onto the damage as well, the time journey to bait Chadera in as Max picks up the red tree on the Lord. Lord Slain presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series. What an amazing orchestra plays there by BTR, as again, Jana still able to secure the purple buff, but was taken low. They're never letting GEEK Fam take things without getting punished.
Results as predicted though. That's how the composition of Bigatron Alpha works. And I gotta say, at this stage, in this current meta, the Diggy is just so reliable. Because even if GEEK Fam wanted to go for a setup, the time bombs are gonna deal so much damage even if he builds tank, Goni.
Yeah, I mean, we have entered the mid-game here, Eterna, so take a look at the items from Lunox. Genius 1 immediately built before that Lightning Truncheon because he realizes that they need penetration, they need damage, and no Athenas just yet from side of GEEK Fam. That's huge. The magic power, and of course, Hunter Strike, DOD from side of Lancelot. Again, physical, magical damage output is just huge from side of Bigatron Alpha. GEEK Fam, they need defensive items.
Elzura already jumping in. Jana QD trying to do damage onto Marky, who is going to be taken down. Coming ways as well. Marky goes in. Oh my god, it's Max who actually picks up the kill with the help of the alarm bombs. Meanwhile, in the back line, Sorizo with the falling Star Moon, able to find two. Immobilized right here. Bigatron Alpha trying to collapse. Key gets hooked into the turret. Gets bloody hunted as well. GEEK Fam able to find a trade. A 2-for-1 in terms of kills, but BTR were able to get the turret.
They're at almost a 5,000 gold lead here, Bigatron Alpha, which means GEEK Fam, they are really lacking in that damage. Take a look at the Sorizo here. I mean, he has opened up a lot of opportunities for side of Bigatron Alpha to somehow create the space and also bought time for the team to somehow perhaps reset or do a proper engage, which honestly, GEEK Fam, they are lacking to somehow damage to kill this guy.
They need to go for pickoffs, guys. I feel like that's the only way that they can go for this. If they group up, we saw how that failed. And it's difficult to see right now because you can see the way that Bigatron Alpha, they're rotating. They're rotating as 4, and so they're trying to deny that pickoff potential. Only Sorizo, only the Esmeralda is the one splitting up. And I guess that's what GEEK Fam is going for right now.
Yeah, they're gonna go look for those pickoffs, and you can see GEEK Fam, they're already popping in that conceal down below. They're committing into picking the member Sorizo off in the bottom side, but Sorizo's not gonna reveal himself just yet. We do have a little peek at the items again, Goni, in the 13th minute of the game. Chadera, though, he's going to be able to find Sorizo. Beloyski coming in with the Bloody Hunt as well. Chadera has all of the weakness points popped in. Crossbow tank going to be popped right now. That's going to be Sorizo popping in with the Truncheon. Good snipe by Marky. That's going to be the time journey as well. Sorizo surviving. Moreno jumping in with the Chaos Order onto Elzura. Finding a pick, outplaying GEEK Fam's pick potential.
Yeah, GEEK Fam took way too long to set that up. I don't know if they knew that he was there or not, but I understand. They were trying to use Kadera as bait, but it just took too long, and Bigatron Alpha picked up on that. Now, Elzura is the one to fall. Bigatron has the upper edge in this Lords, so we're gonna see what GEEK Fam can do.
I believe Sorizo wasn't the proper target as well. He's an XP laner, he has Oracle already, so I don't know why they are going for that play.
Oh, Beloyski though, gonna get shredded down. Jana QT jumping on Moreno, finding the kill right now, and looking for more onto Key. Taken low, but it's gonna be Chadero who actually finishes him off. That's gonna be the Lord taken down. Retribution by Max. 2 members traded in for 1. Chadera has the crossbow attack, but Bigatron Alpha do not want to go for more. They're happy with the Lord take, and they'll just fall back. Luke though, he wants to go for it. Max still is able to secure his purple buff.
What I find interesting is every time they go into a team fight, I always feel like GEEK Fam doesn't have the favorable trade. But in this particular situation, 2 team fights past as well, it was Bigatron Alpha actually losing out. they lost more members. They were able to secure a utility as a neutral objective, though. And in that situation, who does it favor here, Goni?
I feel Geek Fam has a breath of fresh air, picking up 2 kills, even though they lost the Lord, but their wave clear is more than enough to clear the second Lord even. And so, take a look at the snipes there. BOD, Hunter Strike, that is, and as well as Malefic Roar, that is what Marky has now.
I mean, at this point, should Janakuti just opt for more of a defensive build? At least one item.
Oh, I don't know, right? Because you're on the Ling, your main kind of key to victory is that damage. You, as an assassin, you need to try to burst that backline down. So if they do go for defensive items, if he opts for it, it's going to take a whole lot of that kill pressure away from the other members. Because remember, BTR as well, they're really defensive. Ling needs to get more offensive items to actually be able to shred down the shielding coming from the time journey and just all of the defense technically right now that BTR have built. It's just what I mentioned earlier in the draft. Ling doesn't have a good time up against a Beatrix from the Renner and obviously from the Wesker. If the Renner does that much, oh, just imagine the Wesker when Ling jumps in.
It seems like Bigatron Alpha here, they are resetting. They are not going for the heavy siege just yet. And the reason is they are now realizing that Elzura also has his power spike and BOD has been just secured by Janakuti. So Bigatron Alpha, they do not want to take risks, even though I feel like Bigatron Alpha still has the slight edge. They just want to play it disciplinedly here, waiting for the next Lord. Or perhaps if one member, and that is a key member from inside of Geek Fam that is overextending, perhaps they will commit to a fight. But if not, Bigatron Alpha will just somehow play the discipline game here and play the patience game.
I mean, to be honest, Bigatron Alpha, they don't really have much to lose, even if they do want to drag it out, right? Yeah. The Lunox is going to be abysmal in terms of damage, and I'm not even gonna touch on Marky at this point, right? And even if Geek Fam, we see their composition, sure, they have Kadira, but we also have to think about that kill pressure. Kadira is useless against the Diggy, so even if it goes head-to-head, the Diggy is going to be able to deny any source of late-game damage coming in from Geek Fam when they group up as 5.
Yeah, the pressure is definitely on Geek Fam right now to actually make something happen. They're definitely the ones now caught in that desperate spot, right? Because even Beloy, with the conceal plays that he's been able to do in a lot of games, this time up against a Diggy, you're not really going to be able to do that because of the alarm bomb. So annoying, placed into the bushes every single time. Geek Fam can't even open up the map in the 16 minutes of the game, and that's going to be tough.
It is, and it's so evident that Geek Fam, they are struggling, trying to make something happen here. As Bigatron, they are playing more reactively, and that is the right thing to go. I mean, they have Diggy, so just use that Diggy to somehow play more reactively, and now Sorizo opening up the map. Seems like he is doing a splendid job here.
Bloody Hunt, though, popped in with a time journey as well. Chidera was able to find a winner. Oh my god, the crossbow tang there. He's able to find it. The winner truncheon wasn't popped by Moreno. And as you can see right now, they're just going to go on to the collapse. Sorizo taking a whole lot of that damage, soaking it in. I thought for sure that Moreno would go for that winner truncheon. Chidera got all of the weakness points before the time journey came in. How fast are you on this 1-1? Chidera!
It's huge. That setup perhaps might just turn the tables around here for side of Geek Fam. They are now, with this Lord push, they can somehow get one inhibitor if the wave is manipulated correctly here. And now, let's take a look at the instant replay presented by Samsung Galaxy A series. Kadira, the main man. He gets the war. He gets the crossbow of Tang. And all the teams from the side of Megatron Alpha, they are in shambles. They don't know what to do.
18 minutes in. Thank God the countdown timers on the deaths weren't too bad, as they are going to be up and running to defend this one. But one of the things that I noticed here, Goni, was the fact that Janakuti picked up, what is that last item?
Sea Halberd. Sea Halberd for Esme and as well as Diggy. An anti-region item, and it seems like, yeah, it works. It works. He might change it to perhaps a Immortal or Winner's Truncheon, but now it seems like with Esmeralda on your opposing side, it helps you to give that extra damage because only Franco build that Dominance Eye, so perhaps they need an extra anti-region item.
Oh, what? 1v1 up top, and now even in the bottom side, Key losing out on the immortality. Bigatron Alpha, they held the game for so long, but GEEK Fam with one team fight are able to turn the tides. Luke on the back lines, jumping with a thunderclap. Marquis trying to deal damage as well. Winter Truncheon there, finally popped by Moreno, but it's way too late. GEEK Fam turned the game around on its head, securing game one in a comeback fashion.
Amazing, amazing plays coming in from GEEK Fam with a composition that kind of wasn't on their side when it got to the late game. 18 minutes was the duration of the game, and that should have been Bigatron's game to win.
One mistake and all it takes to GEEK Fam to somehow turn the game around. And well, ladies and gentlemen, this is MPL. Bigatron, they kind of snoozed there in what, minute number 12? They kind of snoozed a little, and GEEK Fam took the gamble there, capitalizing on that mistake, and Bigatron Alpha, they aren't able to turn the game around because I feel like 1-1 was a huge game changer there.
But to be honest, right, that's where it kind of flipped, right?
Yeah.
The momentum for GEEK Fam. But GEEK Fam knew they're winning.